Welcome to Day 99. Today, we're talking about something that's becoming absolutely essential in modern AI, explainable AI, or XAI.
Have you ever been there? Your model gives you a prediction. Maybe it says a customer has a high chance of churning, but it gives you no reason. You're just left staring at the output, asking, okay, but why? By the end of this, you'll understand the core techniques we use to get an answer to that exact question.
This is what's known as the black box problem. With complex models like deep neural networks, you have data going in and a decision coming out. But what happens in between, inside that web of millions of parameters, is often a complete mystery, even to the people who built it. And that opacity is a major roadblock to trusting AI in high-stakes situations.
So this is the exact problem XAI was created to solve. The whole goal is to take that black box and turn it into a glass box, where we can actually see the mechanics and understand the logic driving a decision.
Here's a helpful analogy. Think of a complex AI as a brilliant chef who makes an amazing dish but keeps the recipe secret. You know the result is good, but you have no idea how it was made. XAI is like an expert food critic who can taste that dish and tell you the most important ingredients. Ah, I'm detecting saffron and a hint of smoked paprika that gave it its unique flavor. It reverse engineers the key components of the final output.
So let's put a more formal definition to it. Explainable AI is a set of methods that helps us, the human users, to comprehend and trust the outputs of our models. And those two words are really the whole point. Without comprehension, you can't have trust. And without trust, you can't responsibly use AI for anything that truly matters.
Okay, it's also important to distinguish between two terms that often get confused: interpretability and explainability. A simple model, like a decision tree, is interpretable. You can literally look at it and trace the logic from input to output. It's transparent by design. Explainability is for models that aren't transparent. It gives us post hoc techniques to understand how a complex black box model made a specific decision.
XAI is also just one piece of a bigger idea called responsible AI. Think of it this way. Responsible AI is proactive. It's about designing systems with fairness and ethics in mind from the very beginning. XAI is often reactive. It's a tool we use to audit and understand a model's behavior after it's already been trained. You really need both.
So how do we actually do this? How do these techniques let us peek inside the box? Let's look at a few of the core approaches.
Most XAI methods fall into one of three general categories. We have techniques that focus on prediction accuracy, others that focus on traceability, and a third, non-technical category that's all about decision understanding.
For prediction accuracy, one of the most popular techniques is called LIME. The idea behind LIME is pretty clever. Instead of trying to explain the entire complex model at once, it just focuses on one single prediction. Then, right around that specific data point, it trains a much simpler, interpretable model, like a basic linear model, that approximates the behavior of the big model. It gives you a simple, local explanation.
For traceability, especially in deep learning, a common method is deep lift. This technique works by tracing a prediction backwards from the output layer all the way to the input features. It looks at how much each neuron activates compared to a neutral baseline and uses that to assign an importance score to each input. This can tell you exactly which pixels in an image or which words in a sentence push the model toward its final decision. And that third category, decision understanding, isn't an algorithm at all. It's the human factor. It's about documentation, education, and building a shared context so that the teams using the AI actually understand its strengths and limitations, because tools alone don't create trust, understanding does.
All right, so we've covered the what and the how. Let's finish with the why. Why is this becoming such a critical field in practice?
Well, the demand for XAI is coming from all sides. We need it to build trust with users and stakeholders. Increasingly, we need it to meet regulatory standards. It's also one of our best tools for finding and mitigating hidden bias or performance drift in our models. It's what makes real accountability possible.
And you see this in the real world everywhere. A doctor won't trust an AI's diagnosis unless they understand why it was made. A bank might be legally required to explain to a customer why their loan was denied. And in criminal justice, XAI is essential for auditing algorithms to ensure they're not perpetuating unfair biases.
So to summarize it all in one sentence, explainable AI provides the methods to turn opaque black box models into transparent systems whose decisions can finally be understood and trusted by humans.
The one key takeaway is this.
As AI becomes more powerful and more integrated into our lives, blind faith just isn't an option. Trust requires transparency, and XAI is how we get there.